Wow, 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 what a turn of events. You know what, Ian? We talked about this at the second intermission, and Jason Nichols brought it up, and one of the things I brought up was Tarasenko was looking frustrated, and I feel like he's going to take this on his own. And oh my goodness, if he didn't,
Yeah, I mean
unnatural.
that's the exact period you didn't want to see out of Minnesota. They gave up that third goal, and I mean they gave up that third goal, you could just feel that. Uh,
What
so
did
do
I?
you
What
think
did
they'll?
I? We said it. Next goal wins. I mean, I got asked that, and I said absolutely,
Yeah,
right.
I
And
I felt
then
that too.
not only that, a natural hat trick, right? He scored the first two goals on two shots. That was back to back shots.
Underrated. I think that's a bad time for Spurgeon to have some defensive miscues because
Yeah,
quietly both of those goals looked like they were on Spurgeon not being able to push people out of the paint, unfortunately. But
yeah. Well, I mean,
that's just a
I'm
tough.
not. Look, I'm not taking anything away from Minnesota did not play a bad game. They did not. But St. Louis played a better one, especially in the third, right? And I said this. I said this at the beginning of the series, and I know I got laughed at a little bit, and I know it looked bad. But I said from the beginning, I thought that this was the Blues were the better team,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Happy birthday win for you there, E. I thought the Blues were a better team, and it didn't look like that. But my goodness, you put Bennington in that, and this team's changed.
And
This looks like that team that can do this, right?
if you're Minnesota, if you're Minnesota, this is a tough loss because now you have to go into a St. Louis building Game 6, try to force a Game 7. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be an uphill battle
It's
for
an uphill.
Minnesota.
It's uphill,
And I don't know.
right?
I don't know where Dean goes from here. He could go Talbot. I don't know if it really necessarily makes a difference. We'll see what happens, but this is going to be a tough Game 6.
Yeah, I don't think you. I think this is the bed you made. You sleep in it, right? Um, I don't know if these goals, all those goals, were on Fleury, right?
I think the 4-2 goal was probably on Fleury there. He probably could have had that one,
Well,
but
no, the three
it was a
two.
3-on-2 though. So I mean,
Well, the goal that made it three. If he goes back and plays that, it doesn't happen. He doesn't play that. It's not a save situation. It's the fact that if he played it, it would have been different,
yeah, the 3-2
right?
goal was him for sure.
So that this series is exactly what we thought this series was going to be. It hasn't changed, right? Shut Kaprizov down. Minnesota has nothing. I mean, it wasn't just they didn't just shut Kaprizov down. They shut everybody down, right? Bennington wants his net back. Good to see. Bennington has played freaking outstanding. Hold on, here's Tarasenko.
In one period, what did the coach say to your team after two when the game was tied 2-2?
I think we had a lot of games this year when we are tied before the third period, and we feel comfortable, trust our work plan, and just go and have a win one period. So we did it, and it was a big game for us and time to prepare for Game 6 in St. Louis.
Yeah, it sure was, Vladdy, and congratulations on a fantastic game. I'm wondering about that pass. Pavel Buchnevich, I don't know how he saw you from behind the net. There's that chemistry, but he is a darn good passer, isn't he?
He's a very good passer. We have a lot of good players, but have a lot of fun playing with Buchy this year. He's always unselfish and can make a great play like today.
Vladdy, what did it mean to you guys to know that Nick Leddy and Robert Bortuzzo come back to this all-important Game 5?
When playoffs starts, a lot of guys have injuries you guys don't know about, but obviously they was out, and when guys coming back, playing through something, it's always give us extra energy, and we need to just put it all on the line this playoffs, and we are really happy to have them back in the lineups.
Obviously, Vladdy Kaprizov had a great chance and a great game for the Minnesota Wild. Are you inspired at all against another Russian player who obviously had a great game?
No, I'm inspired by the win today. This is all that matters. Like I said, it's...
I'm sorry, that's a great comment. Are you inspired by... No, I'm inspired by the win. Oh, that was good. That was good. Jeff, yes, you have some crow to eat. 55 had a great second and third period. I watched. He had a really good second and third period. Darkness. Haven't seen him in a while. Vladdy may have struggled most of the series, but he showed up when he needed him. I don't think he struggled. I think he played more defensive. I saw this. I saw it in the second. I saw that line he was on playing a little more defensively, and him starting to get frustrated that when he tried to make some of these breakouts, that the guys were too worried about playing defensive. And I said, I think Ashley might remember this if she doesn't kick herself out of the stream. I said at the second intermission, I think Vladdy's going to break. I think, he's going to take this on himself, right? Lance, I sent a link. If you want to come in, you're more than welcome. 4 is our max, right? We can max out. 4 is our max, and we'll hold it at there. So you're welcome if you want to come in, bud.
You did a great job, Jason.
Right?
Jason
Did you see that at all there, Ian? That maybe they got worn out.
I think I don't feel it looked like they got worn out. It looks like they just lost kind of their gusto, and that's a bummer to see because usually this team is not like that. They'll fight till the end. But I mean that 4-2 goal came out, and then you could see their heads drop. And as soon as you see somebody's heads drop, the game's over.
Actually, I give Berube a lot of credit for this game. Right? I give Berube a lot of credit for games 4 and 5. What?
This is not the I Hate Berube report. I don't sit there and bash Berube.
No,
not half of the report.
I do. Me and Lance do. No. I give him a lot of credit for games 4 and 5. Putting Winnington in when you needed to. You could have died on your hill. This is the hill you stuck with. You made a mistake. You could have died with it. No, you adjusted. You put the Russians together. You moved Barbashev, and that helped a little bit. You had Vladdy play both lines. I think Vladdy lifted the play of Torpachenko and Bozak. Right? I think he did. I think Vladdy is a guy that can lift the play of other players around him. And I think that's what happened tonight. Right? Kaprizov is a guy that could do that. Jeff, I wanted to, as soon as I watched 55 tonight, second and third period, I'm going, I don't know what the fuck he's saying. I really don't.
Well, he did improve after the first period. I think he got a little bit of a talking to because that first period was atrocious on Parayko, but then he was lights out.
Right. And then Devin says, Guy Benson, you called it with that random puck luck goal being a big turning point. Yeah, it felt like it. It really did. I just
want to shout out to Jason Nichols, who commented earlier about the tank show coming. How'd you like that Russian of ours there, Ian?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was both me, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I had talked about it, and that's when he had said that. So we worked together. We were together on that.
Yeah, but I got to get Jason a big pat on the back.
Yeah, I do. I give everyone a big pat, Okay, Ian, I got to ask you this. What do you guys do next? Right?
No.
Because this is not just a loss. This is a huge loss. Mm-hmm. You played your best game, and when it mattered, you got outplayed.
I don't think we played our best game because I think in that third period, those were a couple of bad defensive breakdowns that the Wild normally don't do, and that's the problem. You you don't know what you change for Game 6. I mean, is it goaltending? That's the whole difficulty. We'll see what happens. We'll see what Evason does. I mean, I don't know if Fleury would have been able to make those saves or not, but I mean, I think now is a good time as any to maybe switch up the goaltender because I think there's a lot of Wild fans that are smacking the table to get a Talbot to start, and I wouldn't mind it just because I mean, you're up against elimination now. This is the time.
Yeah. So first of all, I say you don't change goalies. Right? I think it's too late for that. If you were going to change goalies, it was after Game 4. Right? It was after Game 4.
Well, he's had 2 bad back-to-back games. And Evason's not going to – if he feels like
Yeah, but you also have to consider
Talbot.
Talbot's history against the Blues is not good.
Yeah,
That's true, but he was playing his best games down the stretch.
he hasn't played for a week.
And that's
hasn't
the only
played
problem.
for a week.
Is he's been riding the bench for a week. So. This is big questions coming from Minnesota. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I mean, I hate to say this, but I feel like the series is over. Right? I don't want to. I know it's not. I know there's. But you look at that third period. Up until that third period, you guys have played your best game. I mean, this was the best game played all series. Right?
Oh, yeah.
This was the best offensive and defensive game played all series. It was very it was a 5-on-5 game, mainly, right? There were only 4 penalties, 2 on each side.
Yeah, but Minnesota scored on both of theirs.
However, but they didn't score 5-on-5, and that's been their bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
That's been their bread and butter. So while everyone was worried about the 2 power play goals, they end up not biting us, right? They end up not biting us because what we do is shut them down 5-on-5. And
but I will say
that is important.
One thing that I was surprised with is Minnesota has always been touted as the best 6-on-5 team. Yeah. And this is the second time that the Blues have made them regret pulling their goalie.
Well, he didn't pull it that early. He pulled him at the just under the 3-minute mark. So to me, that's not down by 2. That's not too early. And right? You can't if you're down by 2, you can't pull the goalie at a minute and hope to get 2.
And the bummer, the thing is that when I watching that 6-on-5, they looked frazzled. They didn't look like the 6-on-5 team of the season. They looked like they were scrambling to get a goal. And how you score 6-on-5, it seems, is that knowing that you have enough time to make those plays, and when they're trying to force passes, and then that was a bad giveaway. That was just an open net for Tarasenko. I mean, he's not going to miss that. Nobody. I don't think anybody is.
I see game 4 for me, that had nothing to do with our guys being out. I think that was a game. The Mother's Day game was a game where the Blues played with that game 7 mentality, right? They played with the mentality of it's win or go home. And I don't think that Minnesota did. I don't think whoever Minnesota put in there, that Minnesota did not play with that shut them out mentality. St. Louis played with that win or go home mentality. And tonight, both teams played with that win or go home mentality until the third period. And I strongly believe, and I said it in the second intermission, that puck luck goal changed the complexion of this game, and Minnesota never recovered.
I think that's fair to say, even as a Wild fan. That's pretty much exactly how it went.
Right. Yes, Enterprise is going to be rocking on Thursday, and I have to ask this now. And if I get in trouble, I get in trouble. Emma, are you going to be with us Thursday, Ashley?
Right now, yes.
Damn! I wanted you to be the woman on the move.
Oh no! Obviously, if Nathan can go, I want him to go.
Which Nathan is this?
I think he's in here right now. Hold on.
Yeah.
Moyer.
Okay.
Yep.
Where I'm kind of behind on comments. Let's see. Enterprise is going to be rocking on Thursday. What's this comment? When it was 4-2, I was going to send you all a text that said just keep it 4-2 till the empty net, and that's exactly what they did. They are locked and loaded. No, they played a good game tonight. They really did. Whoops. Oh, I thought I just kicked him out. This game looked like a team that knows what it takes. Honestly, something Minnesota is lacking.
Well, that's the issue as well. I mean, you don't get that playoff experience until you get the playoff experience. You know what I mean? Like, in order to get the playoff experience, you have to make it up. So it's just at this point, it's just a battle of it's about who wants it more, and it looks like the Blues wanted it more tonight. So,
well, here's the thing. First of all, this is an interesting game in that the team that scored first won, just like has happened in every single game. This is the first game that a team has come back. Both teams came back, yet the Blues were able to win it. Right? because it was 1-0, then it was 1-1, 2-1 Minnesota, 2-2, 3-2, 4-2, 5-2. So from that on part, is the Winnington Ducks crowd going to be quiet? Oh, let's hope so. Does Minnesota start Talbot? I think they will. Lance, I'm at the point right now where, it's too late. It's too late.
I really think that they will. I think they probably will start Talbot.
You think they will?
I think that'll be a mistake.
I really do. I think it's too late.
I think they will.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to see Talbot because we score lots of goals against Talbot. But
That is true.
I think that in a series like this, you let your starter ride it out. If they lost the 3 and put you on the brink of elimination, you let them win or lose.
I think this isn't a bad point, but I think Minnesota's had their adversity, right? Maybe not this group, but they've had their adversity. I think Minnesota's biggest mistake this year was Perry and Suter.
Parisi?
Right? Parisi and Suter, yeah. Right? I think that eating that money and letting those guys go, you don't have a guy. I could see doing it with 1, not 2. Right? And I think if you take one of the guys out, the other guy gets the message that you don't own the locker room. And I think I think it made a huge mistake, and it's costing them. I mean, how much money are they eating over the next, 2 years? 8 million, 10 million?
Maybe about 12 next year, and then 14 for 22, 23, 20. And then
there you go. That right there, that's two $6 million players that you could have. That's 2 Tarasenkos.
Yeah. Well,
right? Or 2 Falks, or 2 Parekos, or 2 solid defensemen. Right?
And that's the whole debacle. The Wild, they don't know if they're going to be able to. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to keep Fiala this offseason. It looks like we're going to. Some rumors are swirling that we're trying to trade him for like 5, 6, 7 range draft pick, but we'll see what happens.
Oh wow! So I mean, is he a free agent?
He's RFA, right? He's an RFA.
Oh, he's an RFA still?
We're not going to have the money to re-sign him. That's the
issue. He's still an RFA.
Just sign him and don't re-sign somebody like Middleton. It's going to be tough to keep him. I want to keep him, of course, because he's a big part of our team. But it's just the buyouts they're going to kill us, But it's about younger players filling that void, and Guerin believes that those young players that we have coming up will be able to chip in.
If the Blues depth keeps showing up, it should be no problem. 9 20-goal scorers, more than any other.
Bless you.
Excuse me a second. I'm going to take me out for a second. Ashley.
Okay. But yes, I agree. The 920 goal scorers is definitely going to, benefit the Blues. But I just can't help but think about the 19 series with the Blues. They could have, finished it off in Game 6. They went to Game 7. So I wouldn't count the Wild out yet. They have some very good lines that are just being quiet right now. But once, I think Fiala wakes up, in the Game 6 situation, it could be, swinging in the other way.
No, I would not be surprised if the Wild force a Game 7. But I mean, this is really tough because you're going into St. Louis to try to force that Game 7. This is just it's an uphill battle from here. That's what it is. But would you guys agree that the pressure shifts back to you guys if the Wild do force a Game 7?
Yeah, it shifts.
Well, no, I think it's equal. It's an equal pressure.
Yeah, it shifts, but not as heavy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, there was no pressure on the Blues to win this game, right? I mean, you want to win it, but if you lose it, you got Game 6 in your building. You're good in your building. Just like they're good in their building. So that pressure to me was all on Minnesota to win this one. Now this one, yes, the pressure shifts, but because it's now an elimination game, it falls back on Minnesota. And I think Ashley's right. It's close to equal. I'd say it's 55-45 on Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Right? maybe even 60-40. But to me, it just it comes down to this: which team understands how to close out a series, right? Because and this is what's important: Minnesota has to play a closeout game tomorrow. Friday.
Yeah, we know what you meant.
And if they don't play a closeout game, which is different, it's different. You have to be aggressive, but at the same time, you have to be protective, and that's not hard to do. It's hard to do, especially with a young team like Minnesota. Now, St. Louis, on the other hand, has been in this situation, and recently. You got 11 guys that been in this situation in 2019 in game 6 and game 7 of round 2. Right. And then game 7 of the finals. Right. So to me, by the way, Binnington is now the winningest goaltender in Blues playoff history. And that shocks me so much.
Well, it's because he went all the way. He had all 16 wins.
But to think that the winningest goaltender only has 16, 17, 18 wins. 18 wins.
Well, that's because the Blues went a long period of time where they weren't getting past the first or second round.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Thanks, Sammy. Thank you so much. Hope to see you tomorrow. For goodness sakes, if you're Minnesota, you have to clog the neutral zone. That's how you beat the Blues. They're not a clog the neutral zone team, though. That's not their game. The problem is that's not their game. Their game is the speed. Their game is the young talent, the aggressiveness. And that's the thing here that I know, Ian, we talked about this pre-series. The thing that bodes well for the Blues is they match up well against the Wild because the Wild's game falls into the Blues' hands. Right? And I remember talking to you about that. Where I'm pretty sure that we did talk about that.
Yeah, I think we did.
Right? Blues are great on the road in the playoffs, except for last year against the Avs. Well, the Blues just sucked last year against the Avs.
Yeah.
I honestly felt with how depleted our blue line was with the Wild having the momentum, having won 2 in a row, that if they didn't win game 4, which they didn't, they were done. Game 4, there was some pressure on Minnesota to win game 4. The majority of the pressure was on the Blues, but there was some pressure on them. On Tarasenko's second goal, you could see Minnie was done. Body language told the whole story.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I said earlier. You could see that their body language changed. It was done when that second goal went in.
Their body language changed in the second period when Saad's goal went in.
Yep.
Right? I mean, you could see it there. I mean, they gained a little bit of it back, but once Tarasenko scores that first goal, within 2 minutes, what was that goal scored? That goal was at 2:30 or 1:03. A minute and 3 seconds into the third. He's burying one that was preventable by Fleury by going behind the net and playing it. Because he doesn't, you're down 3-2, and then a minute and 28 seconds later.
Yeah.
Right, a minute 28 later, he's doing it again. Right, and that snipe, that was a snipe. Oh, that was a beautiful snipe.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Right. Everyone said you got to stop Kaprizov. You got to stop Kaprizov. You got to stop Kaprizov. Well, you know what? Who you need to stop? Tarasenko. Because he took this game over. And you saw it. I saw it in the second. I saw some frustration. And Tarasenko's one of those players that when he gets frustrated, you see him flip the switch and just do Tarasenko things. And that's what he did this game. He did Tarasenko things.
Yep.
Right?
He brought the tank show.
Yep. How about a shout out to Rosen and Mikkola? You don't have to be great, just don't lose it for them and Prunovich. And you say that. All three of them have come in and done their jobs. don't do anything more than your jobs. Right? Remember the time Bobby came back at halftime? Oh, Matt Lowe. Thank you. Thank you for that. You make me laugh, you bastard. So Ian, looking forward to Thursday now, or Friday. What is today? Thursday now.
Thursday, I believe, right?
Yeah, Thursday. Looking forward to Thursday. What is your thought process? What do the Wild need to do?
That's a good question.
This has got to be Trexan. This has got to be Trexan. Right? I don't know who it is, but I'm almost certain it's got to be Trexan. Nope, it's Erickson Krieger.
Oh, wow.
Right? And I disagree with that. I'll tell you what. I think I've had Avs fans want the Blues, and I think the Blues are going to relish in that. I really do. I think that they're going to relish. I think they're going to keep their mouth shut, and they're just going to go to work if they play the Avs. If they win the series and go to the Avs, I think they're just going to keep their mouth shut.
Now, if I'm Minnesota, I think you gotta start gumming some stuff up. You're a little too lax out there, especially in the third period. You gave up that 3-on-2 was a killer. It's just you can't do that. Oh man, It makes me cringe just thinking about it.
Well, I mean, and that, to me, I didn't see who the stars of the game were. I'm going to try and figure them out. To me, number 3 star is Binnington. Number 2 star is O'Reilly. Number 1 star is Tarasenko. I got one of them then.
You did. Tarasenko was correct.
I think
Winnington was 2, and Kaprizov was 3.
Kaprizov was 3. Yeah, I was going to say.
How does Kaprizov become through? Well, I got 2 of them.
You got 2 of them, but they were in the wrong order.
Spot, yeah.
Binnington. Kaprizov had 2 goals. I mean, he deserves a spot on it.
Here you go.
Minnesota.
You want to know why Kaprizov is the 3rd star? 3 stars by Wild Media.
Yeah, you're in Minnesota, and he had 2 goals, so he had a decent game. So, yes, he was – or no, he was a 3rd star, yeah.
Yeah, but he also gave up 2 of those. He also was on the ice for a couple of those goals.
Yeah,
he's still their golden boy. I
would have said Tarasenko, Binnington, and then Kaprizov. Those are my –
that is the order. That is the order.
Yeah.
Right. So Kaprizov had 2 goals. He was a -1. He had 1 penalty. 18:31 on ice, 21 shifts. 5 shots, 2 blocked, 3 missed the net. He had 1 hit, 1 giveaway, and he blocked 2 shots. Okay. Maybe. That's why I don't like the local media being the one that votes, especially in games like this. When you have all the media there, it should be all the media voting. Right? Not just the local media. I have an issue with that. I've had an issue with that. This is why they used to have the Star Award, right? For you got points for stars. This is why they did away with that. Because of the way stars are up. Right? Tank was good, but the series isn't over yet. That's a good point. It is a very good point, right? And we're not counting our chickens. But I do think that the Blues have the easier path right now.
Oh, for sure. Hey guys,
no, we did not.
Cut it short, but I'm actually gonna go here if that's all right with you guys.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no problem, man.
Thank you, Ian.
Thanks, Ian. Have a great night, bud. See you on Thursday if you can.
See you guys on Thursday.
Okay, bye, bud. Right. Okay. We'll go for another 20 minutes or so. People are starting to drop off, and it's getting late. So Game 6, they're gonna cover Tank hard. That leaves players open. They covered Tank hard tonight. Again, I saw, and I'm not trying to. I saw in the second there was a time when he was coming. Tank was bringing the pass up, and he passed it over to either Bushnevich. I think he passed it over to Bushnevich. He was coming at center, and Bushnevich wasn't ready for it and got lost the puck right there. And the way Tank's body language was, the turn on him when he turned to go the other way, he was like, "I've had it. I'm not. We're not doing this anymore." Right? I don't know what he said to them, and then I love his comments. I get inspired by the win. This man wants to win another cup, right? And I remember after one of the losses, one of the series losses in before, I think it was in 16, somebody asked him about scoring 50 goals or something like that. And he says, I don't care about that. I only care about winning a cup. And I think that he still thinks that.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I think that that's the most important thing to him. Nothing else but that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They can address Tank more, but it's going to open up other things. They were covering Kyrou all night. Yeah, I think Kairu's had a good postseason. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them taking the C away from O'Reilly, but I can see Tank has definitely made his. If O'Reilly's hurt, Tank's wearing the C.
Mm-hmm.
If O'Reilly's hurt, Tank's wearing the C. There is no doubt in my mind. Tank has learned something. Tank has figured out Berube to a different point, right? Oh yeah, I'm with you. I'm with that, Jason. Right? Yes, and I do agree with that. I don't know if O'Reilly will move on. I'll tell you what. I know Lance still thinks Tarasenko's gone. Tarasenko's not going anywhere.
I honestly, without Lance here to fight with me,
Yeah.
I think that O'Reilly will leave before Tarasenko.
I do too. I do too. Now I think that Tarasenko's been here so long that he has the roots he has here and some of the other stuff that has happened. He may not be a fan of the media here. He may not be a fan of some of the medical staff, but he's a fan.
Actually, no, I think
he
is a fan of the media. He's not a fan of the medical staff.
Right? I don't think he's a fan of the media either.
The interviews he's been giving lately, he's been very warm to everybody.
Yeah, but I think that's more for the fans than it is for the media, right? Like, so the guys, the interviews he's given, like I just watched him, like when he got asked a question from one media member, and you could just tell that his answer was very like straightforward. You know, it wasn't fun Tank, and I know it's the media member that he has an issue with. So, absolutely think Tank is staying. No, it's gone. He's pulled that. He is absolutely pulled that, and I think this is still Eriksson, right? That thing is absolutely gone.
Absolutely, yep.
Right, that is gone, and I said that a while ago, that I felt that. Yeah.
Okay.
That's.
Bob, I am not a Berube hater. I don't usually bash him, but I think you're giving Berube too much credit there. If Berube got the most out of Tank, it was by calling him out and making him mad and giving Tank the whole idea of, well, I'll show you.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe. I think it's 50-50 here. But I think, I'll tell you what. I think the riff between them had a lot to do with Tank being a better player, and especially Tank standing up for his line mate.
Yeah.
It had a lot to do with that. And I think that might be something that, see, I don't think the Russian players deal with that, right? I don't think the Russian player, first of all, you look at when the Russian players first came over here, and I know Tarasenko was a second generation, maybe even third, right? No, he'd be second generation. But you look at where he's at, yeah, he'd be second generation, almost third. At 2.5 point. They didn't, the coach was the God, was law. And you didn't do that thing. Here in the States, we don't look at things that way. And I think a lot of the Russian players had issues with that. And that's why a lot of Russian players have failed over here. Right? It's where Tarasenko hasn't. You know what? Bushy's playing more of a team game. He's gonna get one, but right now, if he can help get Tarasenko goals, get Tarasenko goals.
And I mean, in all honesty, I think that Booch has drawn a lot of penalties. He's been all over the ice. He's played a good defensive game. So I'm all right if he's not scoring and others are.
Well, I disagree with this because 2 of those 3 years since 19, he didn't play at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Are very
he was
minimal.
Completely injured. Yeah. Right. This has been his best season by far.
We know that you don't like Berube.
Oh, he's throwing some Berube stuff in there. Booberry, I love it. And you're welcome to it, man. Blues had 13 slot shots versus 10 for the Wild, who excel in the slot. We've actually outslotted them every game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I really do. The Blues played a very solid, very meaningful, very dead on. This is the type of game we need to play to win. And I give them all the credit in the world. Here's Mr. Berube now.
Game, stayed with it and came through in the third period for us. Big, they just gotta it's tight checking out there. You just gotta keep working.
Is that how Vladdy can be? I mean, a lot of attention, and rightfully so, has been given to Kaprizov and what he's done in the series. But is that just who Vladdy is? He can strike at any time, at any moment, and he can impact on the game.
Yeah, his shot can beat. His shot can beat goalies from distance. But he's. The thing for me right now is watching him play. It's the work ethic without the puck. He's reloading hard, checking, being physical. And eventually he gets a couple opportunities and he buries them. That was really good by him tonight. I thought that right from the get-go, I thought those guys worked hard and were on top of things and doing the right things.
I think there's an internal battle.
Wow, somebody else said that on the pregame on the intermission shows, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna break my arm.
Of course you are.
Well, guys, we had a great night. We're not going to go the full hour. You guys did a great job staying with us this long.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. We got up to the 30-person mark. We're going to hit that 50.
Oh, we absolutely are.
Especially if we end up playing the Avalanche, I think we're going to get that 50. We're probably going to get inundated by Avalanche fans, but let's go out and do this. So, 2 more days and let's see what happens, right? Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ashley. Great show. Thanks, Ian, for coming along. We love each and every one of you. We'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time on the Blue Note Hockey Fan Report. Aloha.